Hello, everyone. Welcome to another life changing edition on Faces of Resilience. This is Furley Almonte, your host. You know, I'm always excited every time I come onto this show because every once in a while you meet some light workers out there that just illuminate the world in the most spectacular way. And recently, through the Top Talent JV Mastermind group, I met a really remarkable lady who actually has blessed the world with so many zones of geniuses, so to speak, that she has innately and also that has been developed. Well, let me give you a little bit background about my guest. Well, first of all, she is an NLP trainer. She also does hypnosis and she is also a clairvoyant. Aside from that, she also does timeline therapy and breakthrough programs that help visionaries and light workers and leaders to step into their greatness, so to speak. And most importantly, her latest accolade is that she just became the number one Amazon international best-selling author in several different categories of her book called I am joy, and so are you. 19 authentic ways to uncover and elevate your natural happiness. Woo! How can you not feel so joyful over that? Well, let us welcome my beautiful friend, Joy Cooper-Willett. Hi, Joy.
Hey there. Hi, my beautiful Furley. Such an
Oh,
honor to be on your show with you.
oh my, you look beautiful as always. I am really super excited over your book. Well, your book actually reached number one in several categories on Amazon. That's remarkable. And I was just wondering, how has your life been different? It's only been about a week or so that it made it to the top best-selling author, right? And so, how has your life been different since then?
Good question. Well, how it feels different is just that it's like birthing something anew, And this book was 4 years in the making with my publisher and someone and love and trust, David Fagan and Isabel. And it's been a work, it's really a collection of my life's wisdoms up until this point, all through my life. And so it has my personal stories in it, it has my beliefs about how we can increase our frequencies and our levels of joy in really simple yet sometimes forgotten ways. And that was my purpose for writing the book, was just to help share these life-changing and life-giving tools and tips, as well as to inspire each and every one of us that we have that capacity inside of ourselves to raise our frequency, to feel that joyfulness even amidst life's challenges, changes, and tragedies.
Well, you talk about tragedies, right? I am sure that you have your own share of tragedies in your life because, after all, this show is called Faces of Resilience, and we all have a backstory that led us to what we were before to what we are now. Can you share that in about maybe 5 minutes?
5 minutes, sure. Well, oh gosh, my life has been a wonderful adventure. And I will say it's an adventure because that's how I look at life. It's an adventure. And just like every hero's journey, right? And heroine's journey, we have our triumphs and we have our chaoses and our tragedies and our crises. And we have the valleys where we get to rest. We have those mountains that we have to climb through all kinds of weather, whether we're walking alone or whether we're with people that we love and trust. So, my journey for the book and for learning about how we can be in greater states of emotional well being in our minds and our hearts and in our spirit really got activated when someone really close to me, my twin sister, had an emotional breakdown of sorts. And that led me on to my journey to understand more about how do we think and how do we feel and how can we be more in alignment with who we really are and more in control. And so that's led me into learning about hypnosis, the art and science of hypnosis in the 1980s, actually. And so I became a hypnotherapist in the 80s and then became a practitioner of the then new kid on the block, neurolinguistic programming, in the early 1990s. And then also through one of my main trainers and mentors, Dr. Tad James, he developed timeline therapy, and as well as being one of the top NLP leaders and teachers and trainers. He's recently passed away. And I became also an avid learner and teacher of timeline therapy, which is being used for trauma and PTSD and all sorts of stuff, as well as creating our future in a
Well, let me
completely
ask
right.
you something.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that you were a twin, and it was your twin who experienced the breakdown.
Yes.
Oftentimes we know twins being like you feel you almost share the same feeling experience. How did her experience affect you directly to the point that you were actually the one who took action and created something to help others?
Mm, yes. Well, we're fraternal twins, so we're not identical, which is a little bit different in terms of genetic makeup. At the same time, we were extremely close, very, very close. And so it was a shocking experience. I go into it in my book a little bit and explain that that was a catalyst for me to really take on this journey of learning about the mind, the spirit, the heart, and how they work together, and how also then first take care of ourselves, right? Oxygen masks on first, right? And then also to be able to help others. And so it was a complex, complicated journey, as you probably can guess, for quite a few years. And yeah.
You know, in your profession right now, you're doing a lot of different things. Before I get to that unique fusion that you have, I am wondering, what type of challenges did you see in your twin sister and in many other people that you're looking to help right now that would actually identify the type of, I would say, issues or problems that you are resolving?
Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say right now, particularly, I mean, that was back then, that was almost 40 years ago. And life is life, as you know it, as you know it. You're a resilient survivor of many things. You're a warrioress, Pearlie, and I honor you for your power, for your spirit, for your beauty to guide and lead. Because when we go through our personal journeys, right? Then we have something that we can also say, I know what this is like, right? And we have a way that we can craft it into a jewel that we bring, that we can offer and shine out to others. So I would say right now, particularly in our world right now, which is extraordinarily complex, as everybody knows, and the 18 months that we've just come through, there's a lot of people who are on the edge of transition, of great change, of crisis. And these are the people that I personally work with, and more for people who are entrepreneurs and leaders and innovators. However, everyone is at that point right now in their own way, I would imagine, that are reformulating, recreating, reinventing themselves. So these kind of mind, time-proven mind arts and heart expansion tools and soul arts and meditation and all of these things are the ways that we can all take care of ourselves and just be gentle with ourselves. So my passion is to work with people um, in breakthrough sessions, and I also train and teach and certify these arts to people, hypnosis and NLP and timeline therapy, as well as, I do visionary guidance sessions for people also. I have that other side where I really tap into the intuitive side and to the unseen worlds to get
Before
guidance.
you go into that, because I'm trying to identify, because I'm sure there's a lot of people listening in right now who are trying to relate to what you're saying. What are they experiencing right now? I know that they're going through possibly some kind of confusion in their lives, as we've been through so many different changes. What are they feeling right now that they need to break through from?
Mostly the limiting belief that they are not able to get through this time. And that's going to be the big one. Whatever is on everyone's plate, we are all, and the idea and the illusion of separation. We are all in this together, guys. Every single person on the planet, I don't care if you are a gazillionaire or you're trying to figure out, I'm trying to keep my rent paid and all of that. We're all in this together. It has nothing to do with money, status, or anything. It is really a time for the planet to come together and for us to also tap into our own unique gifts. We all have them. And that is my passion. And what I help people do is to break out of the shell, the illusion of the limiting beliefs, and let go of the trauma, whatever it is. It's just your story. It feels real and it is real. However, we let go of it with these tools that let go of things at the unconscious level really, really quickly, because that's where everything's stored. And then go
Yeah.
in to find your zone of genius, brilliance, and so you can get on your way to, because this is a dynamic time too. When everything falls apart, kind of like when there's a forest fire, and if you're in a fire watching this, my heart goes out to you. But if you're in a forest fire, or the fire's gone down and the forest is replenishing itself, it comes back even stronger. It comes back more resilient, right? Because of the nitrogen in the ground. So we are all coming through our own personal floods, our fires, our walking through the fire. We are coming through, and we have so much help on many, many levels, whether it's tapping into the resources like yourself, really, or myself, or other people who have the different modalities of healing and helping and coaching, as well as the spiritual realms that are also around us. We are not alone. We are together.
It's so funny because as you're speaking, I'm thinking about the phoenix rising above, from the ashes. And it also made me think of the quote by, I think it was by Marilyn Monroe, when she said, like, sometimes things need to fall apart so it can come back together.
Yes.
And it's almost like, when we start to reinvent our lives, after we've been broken, we actually um, come again, come back to life in a whole different shape and form that's even more strong and more powerful. You actually have a special innate gift that many other practitioners in NLP or breakthrough programs that do not have. And that what makes you like have so, an unfair advantage over the competition. And that is no, actually that's a good thing, because you are also a clairvoyant. And can you share with us, how that came about?
Yeah, and again, that's in my book, a little bit, snippets of it. Um, there's a lot of jewels in the book. It's a really fast read, and really, I hope inspirational to those of you who do read it. Um, well, I was born into a family where I'm from Canada, and our parents were immigrant, or grandparents were immigrants, and so my mother's whole side were from Finland, and my dad's side, they were from Norway and Latvia, and my mom's side came from a line where very many of the people in it, my ancestors and even second cousins and my mom and my aunt and all and us were very spiritual, and also had the gift to be able to see things that are not. normally seen in the physical realm. And we took it for granted because we were brought up in that environment. Um, and so my dad's side, my wonderful grandmother was very fervent Christian, came from Norway. So we had this beautiful blend of this spiritual, intuitive, psychic, very psychic side, and on my mom's side, and then also my dad's side were very, just this deep Christianity that was very beautiful also. So I like to think that, I carry those streams in me, as well as I believe in other lifetimes. So I know I carry a lot of different lineages in me anyways, innately. That's my belief, or BS, right? And at the same time, it's something that I'm finding more and more people are open to hearing about, um, as well as not really, just going, well, yeah, you see people who've passed on, and you've got messages for us, and um, it's it's it just depends on to be curious about the other realms and heaven, and I work with the angels, and I'm an ordained minister also for ceremony, and I've always been very akin to spiritual things. Started seeing different angels and things when I was 5, and just always felt different, right? Different, and like a lot of us who are here as, maybe we'll call ourselves light workers or sensitives or empaths, um, that we're here also to uh, bring the light, and help bring the light, and then also help others. I know I'm here to serve.
I actually love that about you. And when I found out that you are, very sensitive to all of these messages from this spiritual world, and
Mm,
at the same time, being an empath, of course, allows you to see us a little bit differently, because there's a level of spirituality to it. And because it's innate to you, you don't even have to make an effort. It kind of like seamlessly fuses into what you do in the
mm.
in the more, so to speak, the more traditional modalities that other people do. Now, how often would you say that you actually integrate that innate gift of yours into your coaching?
Well, actually, that's a great question, because my coaching, now that the book is out, okay, so Furley, this is, um, the ways that I see myself evolving. We're always evolving. We are always changing. This is how we grow as a species, as the planet is going through its ascension process. We are going through our processes of elevation, and also from a psychological terms, this is how we grow. And it's in my book, actually. By the way, here's my book. Whoa.
I love it. You look stunning. I love it. Even just looking at your photo in the cover of that book, I said like, oh my gosh, it's almost soothing, and it's more like you can tell that you're very nurturing.
Hmm.
By the way, we have to give credit to David Fagan, because he was the one who photographed that photo, right?
Yes, he did. He did a great job. That was a wonderful photo shoot down at
Right.
Dana Point. Yeah, so yeah, it's really more working with all these tools, because we have so many different levels to who we are as human beings. So yes, we have our mind, and that's the tools of hypnosis, but that also works with what's running um, the show. I call it running the show, because that's running our programs and our physical body, and where our emotions are stored, where our trauma is stored. So to learn how to communicate with that part here, and I go like this because it's running the show at 97 to 99% of ourselves. And even if we think we're really big thinkers, we have so much more that is running down under here, right? And so when we learn to get in control and shift those patterns and programs, as well as release comfortably and easily the negative emotions, and then we also learn how to expand our hearts. There's so many different modalities. So we're also heart beings. We have, actually our heart resonance is even more than our brains. And we are also spiritual beings having a physical experience. So we have so many different modalities that we can tap into that. And, gosh, people can learn how to open up their abilities to read. I do teach that also. I mean, you can, your loved ones and our guides and guardians are always communicating with us. It's
Now
about
you
being
see that you're
aware.
an NLP trainer. Does that mean that you certify NLP
Yes,
practitioners?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
so
yes.
like, so who are those people who are actually great candidates for training to be NLP practitioners?
Well, gosh, I mean, NLP is like, it's so widely used everywhere on the planet. It's used from politicians and speech makers and everything in advertising and TV. And it's all about how we can communicate. Okay, so neuro, meaning the neural networks in the brain, right? Linguistics is how we use language to affect the shift, and programming is about the programming. So we can use the power of language to actually shift the neural networks in the brain with a lot of really, I call them magic tricks and tools. So whoever does those kinds of tools and trainings, I teach.
So they
Uh,
incorporate it in their careers.
Absolutely. Sales training. I have a sales mastery class. I have taught some real estate companies and worked with different professionals. You can use this for anything and everything, as well as therapeutically for using it for people that want to coach or want to help people make shifts in their personal life. So you can use it corporately and professionally, as well as personally.
That's beautiful. Now, in your book, the subtitle was 19 Authentic Ways to Uncover and Elevate Your Natural Happiness. Can you share with us two? Just two.
Okay, okay. So, all right. So I'm just looking here one moment.
The juiciest one.
Oh, they're all juicy. I think part of, and they're all different, uh, wonderful titles. It's about, okay, so one of the ones that I really like and that I use in my trainings too is because, when we look at this world, I'm going to use terminology for the last 150 years, the quantum universe, right? And Albert Einstein, and when they discovered that, you could affect matter by your focus. That's just the simplified, dummies for, quantum physics version, right? And I'll do free from that. Oh, I have to teach you free from that before we leave too. That's a great little tip. Um, is that everything, we are always creating everything all the time. And it's not just what we're thinking. Like we can be thinking, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this, yet our results are showing differently. That's what I'm saying is coming from the unconscious mind at that 99%. And that's what's out there pulsating, right? So the conscious mind is the goal setter. Like we set our goals with our conscious mind. The unconscious mind is the goal getter. It's what's actually what you believe on, at those subconscious levels, right? So when we're creating, like children are the master creators, and I talk about children because they have no blocks between this part that's running the show, their open energy to life, right? That's
Mhm.
why they can go and make a fort with a couple of chairs and a sheet, and they put a towel around their necks, and they're superheroes. They are constantly creating because they have no limits. When we get older, we're told, no, you can't do that, grow up, that's not realistic. And we develop this wedge, right, between our conscious mind and our unconscious mind, okay? And I also teach hypnosis classes too, different versions. So, and it's fascinating because it's also powerful stuff for understanding the physical body, because the unconscious mind's running our physical bodies.
Joy,
So
is there something our viewers can implement in their lives right now to get rid of that wedge from the go-getter into the go, what's it? The go-getter and the go, what's the first one?
goal setter, the goal setter.
Go-setter and the
Yeah,
go-getter.
yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, you can hop into one of my classes sometime. There'll be some offered in October. And just what I would say is really get into that creative part of yourself. Allow yourself that downtime, and whether it's meditation, okay, you can do journaling also to allow that flow to come through you, right? And also get out in nature and breathe the air, and sit on the ground, lie on grass in a park, or go down to the ocean, do a hike, and get out there and clear your mind and allow the inspirations to come through.
Hmm.
Okay.
Be still
And
enough, right? Be still enough to get the inspiration to come through, right?
yes, and take your mind off of things, literally. And so, again, doing something either creative, because then that's activating another part of our brains, right? Like whether you're drawing or you're doing artwork or you're dancing, do something different, and get off the technologies, get off your phone. And also, part of what is going on with our phones is our vision is
Mm.
going into like this. And this is a problem. This is why even we know on marketing, our attention spans are split second, right? It's because of our foveal vision rather than our peripheral. When we get out into nature, then we expand our peripheral, and then we also teach that in the courses too.
Okay,
And
look at this. I mean, there's so much that we can learn from you, but we have so little time.
I know.
But I know that you're going to teach us one quick trick. But first of all, I would love for you to share how can they buy your book? That's number one.
Okay.
Okay. So it's on Amazon, yes?
It's on Amazon. Yes, right now it's in the Kindle version on Amazon. And because we're getting ready for it to go to the printer for the printed version. So right now I did keep the really amazingly low price, and I thought I would keep it on through tonight after our interview here, Furley.
Wow.
It's the pre-launch, it's the launch price, and it's so ridiculously priced. Buy some and send them off to your friends, and enjoy it right away, because it really has some awesome nuggets. So it's on Amazon. I am Joy, and so are you. And then also the printed versions will be coming out. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, you can message me at this is my Facebook handle, Joy Cooper-Willett. I have
How about
some.
your you said you have workshops, you have trainings. Why don't you invite our audience to join you on your training?
That would be awesome. Come on one of my trainings. There's going to be a lot of different things coming up. Take a look, and I'll let Furley know what I'm working on. There's a lot of new.
Is there a link, or where can they find the link to be able to join you on your workshop?
Well, I have got my new website getting formulated right now. I do have my old website, but I think right now just you can email me or message me right here on Facebook.
Right here on
Or
Facebook. And as soon as it's available, we're going to post it on the comments. Right.
yeah.
Okay. I know you have to give one tip before we go. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's do this tip here. Okay, so this is a signal to your unconscious mind, which is running the show, remember. So it's like you're using your hands, it's kinesthetic, okay? It's visual, and it's auditory because we make a little snapping noise. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we just like it's almost like you're just snapping in front of you, or you can think it to yourself, or you could say free from that. And so what that is right now, for those who want to, you are setting up a signal to your unconscious mind to let go of something that maybe you heard, that maybe you saw, that maybe you read or experienced, that because the unconscious mind is always recording everything.
Hmm.
It's recording everything. That's why we can go in with hypnosis and regressions and things like that, and you can pull things up because it records everything. So if you want it to not have to record, free from that. And a lot of my one of my dear clients, actually, she loved it, and they started doing it at dinner parties when they didn't want people who are coming over and gossiping. They'd be doing this, and she actually made me a hashtag free from that piece,
I was
beautiful
gonna,
crystal
what I was
clear.
doing when I was doing this, like, snap out of it, snap out of it.
Well, but it's a signal to your unconscious mind that we just set up right now. For those of you that want it, you can just say unconscious mind, free from that, and then you can think it to yourself, or you don't have to say it out loud. There you go.
Wow, it cannot be any easier or quicker than that.
Oh, there's so many mind hacks and just amazing stuff. That's why I love this work. And also just being alive right now. It's an incredible time. And I just want to encourage all of your viewers, Furley, and any of mine who are watching this, go for your dreams, guys. You have everything you need right now to go for your dreams. The planet is doing a complete reset. Everything is resetting, and go for it. This is where you get to be, as Furley said, the phoenix rising out of the ashes. Make that diamond out of the coal that you just came through, and get your surfboard. We've got the big waves, and it's great out there. Surf's up,
Woo, I love it. I love it. Free from it and go for your
and
dreams. Woo,
go for it. Yay!
and go for it. I love it. Thank you so very much for shining your light on our audience here on Faces of Resilience. What a pleasure, Joy. It is such a blessing. And thank you for your lovely tips. Make sure you go get your copy up until tonight. You will see how ridiculously low the Kindle version is. I am Joy, and so are you. All right. That is the name of the book. You will see so many mind hacks in there, 19 of them, as a matter of fact.
Yes,
So
you will.
today, consider that your wake up call. Remember, free from it and go for it.
And
All
go
right.
for it. All right.
Okay. Until next time, this is Furley Almonte with my special guest, Joy Cooper-Willett, saying goodbye and go for your dreams. All right. Until next time. Bye bye. Stay well and stay healthy.